Working. Alright, it's working. Alright, guys. Welcome to our first. This is actually our first YouTube show. It's kind of crazy. This is a special little show for everyone out in Burns, at the Burns Library. Hope you guys are having a good day. Sorry we couldn't come out, but you know, the whole safety matters and social distancing and quarantine, all that kind of fun stuff. But I'm glad we're able to come out this way at least. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to send them in the comments, send them to us directly through our Facebook page, or even just call us, text us, whatever. I guess you'd probably like to know who you're going to send all that stuff to. You're going to be sending it to Idaho Reptile Zoo. Reptile Adventures is now the outreach programs for the Idaho Reptile Zoo, which is kind of why I might have an echo. I'm sorry. We're moving into a much larger facility, which you can kind of see by the really cool background behind me. This is the only part of the whole place that didn't have any kind of crazy construction going on. So I hope you guys like it. But we're gonna share some of our fun little show animals with you guys. Now we're not obviously we're not gonna do the interaction portion because I can't like teleport them through the TV or through the computer. So I'm gonna get some animals out, some animals that you might not typically see in our show, because they might not be good for a lot of people to handle, good for handling in general, and we're gonna kind of use this opportunity as a way to get them used to it or more accustomed to even me handling them. So there's gonna be a couple that aren't what you guys may have remembered from last year. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. And again, please send me any questions, comments, all that kind of fun stuff. And again, we are moving into a larger facility, so if you guys are out this way, please come by and see us. And if you are someone who just kind of stumbled across this video, who isn't in Burns and is somewhere else, hope you're having a great day as well, and we hope to see you soon too. Alright? So we're going to start with some small animals, and then we're going to the really big stuff. Now our whole little intro, kind of give you guys a backstory. All of our animals here are all rescues. So all of our animals either used to be someone's pet, they either got too big for them, they got scared of them, they moved away, all different kinds of reasons. And some of our fun rescue stories, the ones that stand out a little bit more than others, we're gonna happily share with you guys. And yeah, let's just get into it. All right, our first little guy. That's not the one I wanted to open. Our first little guy is fairly new to our rescue. A really, really cool little guy. Now this is a ball python. Now ball pythons are super cool. Ball pythons get their name because when they get scared or threatened or just unsure about certain things, they'll kind of curl up into a tight little ball. Kind of like a lot of people I know who are just really unsure. They just kind of like curl up and hope whatever it is will go away. Alright, now ball pythons are super cool. They are super, super docile. They'll actually use that little technique instead of even biting. So snakes do all different kinds of stuff when they're scared. Some bite, some poop, some run away. These guys have just learned if they curl up into a tight little ball, they'll look like a rock, and most animals will just kind of walk past them. Now obviously this particular snake does not look like a rock. He has kind of a special little color pattern to him. Ball pythons are bred a lot in captivity. They're bred a lot for pets, just like puppies. We get baby snakes too. Alright, so and some come out with like bright orange colors, some have red, some have all black, some are white, all different kinds of stuff. This one is, I believe this one's called a bumblebee, which is kind of cool. Alright, now these guys are also called the royal python. Now when you think of royalty, do you think of, what do you think of? You think of kings, Burger King, think of like princes, think of queens, stuff like that. So, yep, they're called the royal python because some people in Africa will catch these guys. When they catch them, they get scared. When they get scared, they curl up, right? And they'll actually wear them on their heads, kind of like that. Pretty cool, right? And they'll do that for like special occasions like birthday parties, weddings, all that kind of fun stuff. I do it just because it's a Tuesday and I'm bored. So, alright. Evidently, it's a cool thing to do. But these guys are very popular as pets. because they don't get very big. They are a python, but they're not one of the big giant pythons that we'll see later on in our show. This one's about full grown for a male. Females get to be a little bit bigger. I think one of the biggest females we've seen was close to about 6 feet. Alright. Pretty cool. Oh, one last cool thing. I'm going to bring it closer. So, if you guys look, right, I'm going to see if I can get it right in the little thing. So you see those little holes around his mouth? Those little holes are called heat pits. Now those little heat pits can actually, that's how he sees, they sense heat. And those little heat pits can sense a 0.01 difference in temperature. So he doesn't see like a black hat or a yellow shirt or a pink bandana or whatever. He sees in temperature, so he sees your heat signature. Kind of like for all you older kids who might be watching the movie Predator, how the Predator would see in the heat or infrared, or with like night vision goggles. Same kind of thing, that's actually where they got the idea from. Alright, now we're going to move on to some other animals. Now I know some of you guys who may have saw the show last year, we normally start the show with a little 8-legged little friend, but she actually just ate, and she gets kind of grumpy when she's eating. So we're going to let her kind of finish her food. If she finishes before, maybe we'll bring her out as like a little surprise guest towards the end. 1 second, sorry. So this is one of those little guys that isn't used to being held to be around people or that sort of thing. But come here, bud. Come here. The people want to see you because you're just so cool. Come here. No, come love me. Come here. Come on, you're okay. Come on. There you go, bud. Look at this guy. Look how cool that is. No, I know. He's looking at me and you at the same time. Now this is a chameleon, a veiled chameleon. I'm just going to keep doing yoga during the whole show. There you go. So veiled chameleons get their name from that little veil or crest on the top of their head. So it's pretty cool. They actually use that and kind of show off for the females, show how big and bad they are. It's kind of like a lion mane kind of thing. I've never actually seen them use that in any kind of like battle or like headbutts, like a bighorn sheep. I've never actually seen, I don't think they use it for that kind of thing. I think it's just more of a way to extra display and also just to kind of help blend in with like leaf litter and stuff like that up in the trees. Now when people think of chameleons, they think of like TV commercials where they turn like, oh, it's on an orange background, it's going to turn orange, and no, it's polka dot and pinstripe, and they don't quite change that elaborately, but they will go from darker shades to lighter shades when they're trying to hide or camouflage themselves. And then when they're feeling really angry, they'll get really bright colors. When they're feeling upset, they'll get another set of colors. When they're feeling happy, there's another set of colors. So it's all different kinds of stuff, and it's actually it's just like blood pressure. When their blood pressure is higher, different colorations come out. When their blood pressure is lower, different colorations come out. All right. Now, besides the color change, one of the other popular things about chameleons are those crazy eyes. So if you guys look at his eyes, look at that. So he's looking at different things at once. So what's really cool is that chameleons actually will basically completely see 2 completely different things. So their eyes, they don't see one big picture. So it's kind of like, it's really weird. But if you use like toilet paper rolls and you cover each of your eyes, you look around and you kind of see. And then when they see something they like food, they'll lock in and they'll make one picture, and that's where they know where to send out that big old tongue. Now what's really cool, chameleon's tongue is, I want to say it's somewhere like 3 times their body length. So and it shoots out this weird like accordion tongue thing, and it has a little like gripper, and it grabs onto like crickets and cockroaches and grasshoppers and stuff. Pretty cool, right? Alright, last cool thing we're going to talk about this guy. Don't use your teeth as a root. But you see how those little feet? So even though he has weird little gripper feet, he can grip onto just about anything. Any kind of vines, branches, no matter what the size. The way those little feet work, he can basically grab onto anything. But just in case he can't, he has this really cool tail. And that tail is called a prehensile tail. And they'll use it as a fourth limb, or a fifth limb, sorry. They'll use that and they'll hang from it. They'll use it for balance. They'll use it for all different kinds of stuff. Kind of like a possum. Some people think that possums hang from their little extra limb, but look at him use that limb. Using that tail as a way to kind of balance and push himself out there. It's like, I want to go see the people. I want to go to Burns. Bye. Bye. But he's pretty cool. This is actually kind of fun because we don't usually get to bring the chameleon and stuff like that out to shows because they do get very stressed out because they live in trees. They're very vulnerable, so they get passed around from hand to hand or that kind of thing. They don't know the different branches, and they get really stressed out. And they might fall and all that kind of stuff. All right, so we got a couple more little guys to show you, and then we'll get into the really big stuff. All right, so we'll put him in there. There we go. All right. So we're going to get back into our favorites. And when you think of reptile, you think of snakes. All right. Now this guy's super cool. This is Colonel. And Colonel is not cooperating. Colonel is a corn snake. Now corn snakes are super cool. These guys are actually so nice. You could find these guys out in like the wild. You can scoop them up and you got a new little snake. Now, quick little disclaimer, everyone listen carefully. Don't pick up snakes in your backyard. I don't want phone calls from your parents saying, I told you guys to pick up snakes. I didn't. Don't do that. If you guys see a snake, super cool, go check it out. Tell your parents it's there, and then they'll kind of give you a heads up if it's something that they want you to pick up or not, okay? But these guys were actually, and besides, these guys don't even live anywhere close to us. So we're up in Idaho, or Oregon, and these guys are all the way down in like Florida, Georgia, that area. So corn snakes are found as far south as Florida, as far west as Texas, and as far north as parts of Wyoming. Okay? All right, now these guys are super cool. Now they're called a corn snake for a couple of different reasons. Some people think they're called a corn snake because it's really cool belly. If you flip it around, see that belly? Kind of looks like wild corn. Some people think they're called a corn snake because they live in corn fields. Because these guys eat all the mice, rats, and birds that try and eat our fruits and vegetables. Or maybe they just tell corny jokes. I don't know. Maybe they're like me. I don't know. All right. But what's really cool with these guys is you notice snakes don't have any kind of arms and legs, stuff like that. But they still climb trees like it's nothing. And they actually use those big old belly scales, and they'll use those as like a bunch of little tiny feet, little grippers. And they'll grab onto like bark and branches and stuff like that. And they can climb straight up trees to get into like bird nests and stuff like that. All right. So pretty cool little corn snake. Now what's even funnier is that where these guys are found in the southeast United States, they don't even call them corn snakes. They call them red rat snakes. Because they are part of the rat snake family. And rat snake obviously because they like to eat rats and mice and rodents and stuff like that. But yeah, so some people call them corn snakes, some people call them red rat snakes. Some people just call them adorable. Either way, they're super cool to have around. They're great little natural pesticides. Or pest control, not pesticides. But yeah, so pretty cool. This was actually a little side note. This was one of my first type of pet snakes. This was one of my first rescues. Well, not this one, but again, this type of snake. Because before ball pythons became really popular, corn snakes were really popular. They were the cool hip snake to have in the pet. Alright, now that was the warm up. That was the little stuff. That was kind of the just the warm up into the show. So we basically just saw snakes and lizard, I guess. But the big stuff is a little bit more of a variety. So there's a couple different kinds. Now, the first big guy coming out, he is one of my favorite animals. Now, at the Idaho Reptile Zoo, we have close to 200 different animals. And it's hard not to have a favorite. And this guy's he's kind of stolen my heart from day one. And that was about 10 years ago when we got this guy. But he was super cute. He was about, he was about 8, 10 inches long with his tail. Super cute. But he thought he was like a T-Rex. So he used to try and bite everybody and smack us with his tail and poop everywhere. And I assume T-Rexes poop everywhere. I don't know. They don't wear diapers in boats or whatever. And I opened the wrong tub again because that's what I'm going to keep doing all day long. I know, he's my favorite animal and he doesn't have like a label on his tub. So let's get him over here. Alright, so, like I was saying, super cute. One of my favorites. One of the best. Now, again, he used to be pretty grumpy. He used to like throw little tantrums and try and bite and poop and tail whip and stuff like that. But then one day, he just kind of woke up in a really good mood. And now he's the cutest little thing ever. Look at that face. Right, now this is Beast. And I know there's nothing very beasty about him anymore. Beast is called a Tengu. Can you guys say Tengu? Yeah. So Tengus are super cool. My parents still can't say Tengu, so I try and see if anyone else can, because they call them like Tugus and Tagu and Tigu. And no, it's just Tengu. That's all it is. Nothing fancy. But these guys are super cool. They have a different name than like most monitor lizards because they are a little different. The main difference is their diet. Monitor lizards like Komodo dragons and water monitors and stuff like that, those guys are carnivores. That means they only eat meat. Alright, now Tengus are a little different. Tengus are omnivores, so they eat everything. So they eat meats, fruits, vegetables, all kinds of stuff. Beast, actually his favorite food when he was a baby, he used to love scrambled eggs with chopped up bell peppers in it. Yeah, I told you, pampered pet, right? Now, Tengus are super cool for another different reason, because they have that big old chubby cheeks. You guys see those little chubby cheeks? Those chubby faces. Oh my gosh. So those chubby cheeks are actually full of muscle. And they use that muscle in the wild to eat things like baby anaconda and piranha, all the way down to like bananas and bell peppers. Alright? Now, like I said, I know, bell peppers, right? Hey, see him sticking that tongue out? Show him that tongue. Look at that big old tongue. Blood. The tongue blood. One more time. There it is. So, do you guys know what they do when they're sticking their tongue out? Why do you stick your tongue out? Nothing? You're not going to give me anything? Not even a tongue click? Nothing? Alright, fine. Well, these guys actually stick their tongue out like that. And that's actually how they taste or smell the air. So they'll stick their tongue out where it comes to little points. Where it comes to little points, they shake those points around and grab particles out of the air. And as they grab particles out of the air, they swallow it and goes to a part of their brain called the Jacobson's organ. Now that Jacobson's organ is it's like a high-tech supercomputer, because just off of those particles, they can actually tell exactly what's going on around him. So he can tell like where there's food around, where there's water, even where there's somewhere to hide, just by flicking that tongue. Now what's really cool, if he gets like a little extra like water particle on this fork of the tongue, and nothing on this fork, he'll kind of turn his head a little bit. And then if he gets a whole bunch on this side and nothing on this side, he'll turn his head back. And then if once he gets an even amount on both sides, then he knows, okay, it's right in front of me. I gotta go get it now. All right, pretty cool, right? Now he's actually, he's enjoying this quarantine life. He has definitely let himself go. Look at this. I mean, he's literally letting go. Yep. So he's in the middle of shedding or molting or a really intense exfoliation. So just like snakes, lizards of all kinds, these guys all will shed or molt their skin. Now this doesn't hurt him at all. It's coming off very easily, so it's just overdue to come off. And actually with some pet lizards or pet reptiles, you need to help them shed if they don't get all of it off. Because if that dry shedding stays on, it can actually cut off circulation. And that's how they lose like toes and limbs and stuff like that. And he actually, oh there it is. When we got him, he had some dry shedding on that toe. So he has no toenail. Yep. But it doesn't hurt him anymore. He's completely grown out of it. He's just used to it now. But look at that. It's super cool because they even keep their pattern on their shed skin. But yeah, so that's Beast. You want to give him a little kiss and say goodbye? You want to stick your toe one more time for everybody? Like that to the front of our brother. Oh my gosh. Okay. Alright. Get your back put away. Alright, now as you see, we are in the rainforest room of the Idaho Reptile Zoo. And we're in here for a couple different reasons. One, because, like I said, it's the only room without real like construction going on. 2, because rainforest is one of my favorite places. And 3, rainforest animals are one of my favorites. So, we are going to kind of keep with this little rainforest theme. And we are going to get our next animal out, who also lives in the rainforest. Now, what's really cool is, let me see if I can line this up. So trees like this are the perfect place in like Central and South America to find this next kind of animal. Now, again, this is a reptile show. There's no sloths. There's no monkeys. Give me time. I'm working on it. Okay? But for now, it's, well, not just, but let's lower the bar a little bit. It's not there. It's still just as cool. I think these guys are one of the coolest pets and one of the coolest animals out there. It's really cool because these guys are actually more commonly found in captivity almost than they are out in the wild. Alright, now, when you think of rainforest animals that live in the tree, like I said, a lot of people think of like sloths and monkeys and stuff like that. Some people who are really into it, they think of like big harpy eagles. What else? What, frogs. There are some snakes and lizards and stuff like that. But one of the coolest, I think, is the red-tailed boa. Right? I know. So red-tailed boas are super, super cool. These guys are like the original pet snake. These guys are like pet snakes before keeping pet snakes was something cool to do. Now this is Baby, and Baby is a red-tailed boa. Now red-tailed boas get their name because of the obvious red tail. Now no one actually knows exactly why they have a red tail. I was always under the impression that bright colors in the wild just meant danger, because most dangerous or venomous animals out in the wild all have a bright coloring. So this was like a bright color, kind of like deterrent for big birds of prey and stuff like that who are flying over. And when they see this bright red tail, they just kind of keep flying and don't want to deal with whatever is attached to it. Right now, what's really cool? Now these guys are, the only difference between boas and pythons, the only difference between boas and pythons are that boas actually have live birth. So most people just assume all reptiles lay eggs. That's kind of what they're known for. But actually what's really crazy is that almost half of them don't. They actually incubate their eggs internally, and then they give live birth just like a mammal or that kind of thing. So that's kind of cool, right? So these guys don't spend a lot of time like incubating or wrapped around their eggs like most of the pythons and stuff like that are. Why are you looking at me all funny? You weirdo? Because I'm talking about the baby stuff? I know, it's awkward sometimes. I know. Now she's looking at me kind of funny because she has very pretty blue eyes right now. So those are pretty blue eyes. She's so pretty. Look at pretty eyes. She's like old blue eyes, little Frank Sinatra. Now, for those of you guys who have already guessed it, yes, she is in the process of molting her skin, just like Beast was. So snakes, when they're going through that process of molting or shedding, they go through a blue phase, as everyone calls it, because the milky fluid under the skin kind of builds up like a blue tinge to them. Now, what's really cool about snakes, and the only real difference between snakes and lizards, is that snakes don't have an external ear like we do. They don't hear sounds, they don't hear voices and stuff like that. They actually hear or sense vibration. But then they also don't blink. They can't go like this to keep their eyes nice and like moist and protected and that kind of stuff. And they sleep with their eyes open. Kind of like, what's the snake's name from Jungle Book? Ka. Don't trust in me, don't trust in me. Because they win every staring contest. I've tried it, it doesn't work. Blink every time. But, so they have a little scale that covers their eyes. So when the milky fluid kind of comes over their eyes, it just kind of builds up that big blue tinge, and they go through that blue phase, and then she'll go back to normal, and you'll think, hey, wait, I thought you were going to shed your skin. And then she'll take a bubble bath for like 3 to 7 days. Could you imagine taking a bath for like a week at a time? That'd be so cool, so relaxing. But they'll take a bath for quite some time, a couple days. They'll get their skin all wrinkly and gross, like how your fingers get all gross. And they'll come out and they'll rub their head on rocks and branches and anything with any kind of texture. And they'll rub it off their nose. And then they'll slowly but surely get it off their entire body. Pretty cool, right? Now, what's even crazier is that even though red tail boas aren't the longest snake by any means, these guys are definitely one of the strongest for their size. Now, what's crazy is that they can actually hang from that red tail, just like that, and they kind of hang in the wild, and they'll hang from the tail. See how the tail is wrapped around my hand? It's all nice and blue. So they'll hang in this S position, and they'll flick their tongue just like a beast, and it tells them what's going on around them, and they'll strike out, and these guys actually strike so fast, they can catch a bird, like a big like parrot, just flying by. But they'll grab it, they'll wrap it up, and they'll eat it all while hanging upside down. That should be a fun like party game, to try and eat like a snake. Eat like a tree snake, hanging upside down, don't spill your food. Because if these guys do spill their food, they're doing it like 3 stories up in the trees. So if they drop their food, there's like 6 animals waiting for that food to fall on the way down. They're not going to get it back, and they're going to have to sit there and wait for more food to come around. But pretty cool, right? Red tail boa. Red tail boas are super cool. Again, these guys were like the popular snake before having snakes was popular, because they get to be pretty big. I don't know if I said this or not, but red tail boas would you get off of me? Red tail boas get to be around anywhere from 6 to 12 feet long, depending on where they're locally or where they're naturally found or their locality. Like I said, some only get to be about 6 feet, which is really a handleable snake. And then there are some that get to be in the double digits, and they're a big, powerful, formidable animal that we'll get to know and see a little bit later on. But okay, so far we've seen a bunch of snakes and lizards. But there's other reptiles, right? There's, don't say spiders, don't say tarantulas, because that's not a reptile. Don't say amphibians, because that's not a reptile. But there's one carries his house with him and stuff. Now, okay, little disclaimer. Normally in this part of the show, I bring out hippo. Hippo is one of our big, just behemoth of a tortoise. But it's really hard to get him like in frame all the time because he's so big and he doesn't sit still, kind of like me. I'm always touching my face and fidgeting and stuff. So I brought the next best thing, and I brought little tiny potamus. So when I bring hippo, I brought potamus. Now potamus is the same kind of tortoise as hippo. That's why he has the kind of sorry, it's loud noises. But we're gonna get really close and personal, just to make him look really big. Okay, that's all he's got. Okay, so these guys are called, or not these guys, but this guy is called a spurred tortoise, or African spurred tortoise, or sulcata tortoise, all kinds of names. But they get that name because when they get scared, they tuck their head in, they bring their arms up, and they make a big wall of spurs. So whoever tries to scratch or eat him or hurt themselves in those big spurs. Now, if that doesn't work, he has these little tiny horns. Well, he has little tiny horns. But as they get bigger, they get these big, long horns that come out. And they use these big, powerful back legs, and they ram those horns into whoever's trying to hurt him. So kind of like how we talked earlier with like bighorn sheep and stuff like that, they'll bump their heads together. These guys will actually use those horns, and they'll fight like other males in their territory. They'll fight like other animals that might be going after their eggs or just in their territory. Because these guys are super protective of what goes on in their home, in their territory. I just thought I was saying territory way too many times. But no, so these guys are they're very protective. So much so that we have one hippo who's very protective, and he does not like new stuff in his environment. So much so that I put a trash can in, like his enclosure one day to clean out all the nasty stuff, like the poop and gross stuff. And he was so mad about this trash can that he actually rammed into the side of it. And he rammed it so hard he got stuck in the side of it. I know, and then he got stuck, so he thought the trash can was trying to fight back, so he fought back some more, and it was a long day. Yeah, it's funny now. It was gross then, because it was full of gross stuff, and it was everywhere, and ugh. Okay, so, sorry, I digress. So, cool thing about these guys, what a lot of people don't know is, one, their shell does not come off. It doesn't come out. It's not like a crab. They're not going to leave and find a bigger shell. Their shell is actually made out of bone. It's part of their body. So their shell is actually modified ribs. So we have our ribs to protect our heart and our lung and liver and all our vital organs and stuff. These guys have the same thing. Where the little scute is over here, little circles are called scutes. So where those are, they actually have a line that goes down their whole back, and it's just like ribs, and it protects their whole body. And it's actually made out of the same stuff too. Yep, their shell is actually made out of bone and the same stuff as your fingernail. Yep, so everyone put 2 fingers up, and then you touch your fingernail, and see, you just pet a turtle or a tortoise. I just messed up of tortoise. Yep, see, we're still interactive, even though we're online. You can still be part of the show. So yeah, so your fingernail, his shell, rattlesnake rattles, rhinoceros horns, horse hooves. If you think of anything else that's made out of keratin, let me know. Send it to us. All right, but yep, so they have this little like giant fingernail of a shell, but then their whole under it is all made out of bone. So whenever you guys pet and touch a turtle or tortoise, they can actually feel everywhere you're touching them. That's pretty cool, right? But yeah, so little Potamus. Now what's crazy is that Potamus is only about a year old, so he's a little tiny baby. But he'll get to be up there with Hippo. And Hippo and the other big sulcata tortoises, they get to be anywhere from 150 to 200 pounds. There are some that actually get to be even bigger and close to like 350 pounds. Yep, and they live for close to 100 years. There's been a couple in zoos that have lived to be over 200 years old. Yep, that's why these guys are a really big commitment when you see them as a pet, because they are super stinking cute. But it's going to be something that's going to get like willed to your great grandkids, ideally. Okay? And it's crazy because they just eat fruits and vegetables. That's why you got to eat your fruits and vegetables, so you can live a long time. Because that's all this guy eats all day long is fruits and vegetables, mainly vegetables. So a lot of like leafy greens. Did you just nod? He just nodded his head. A lot of leafy greens. Like you did it again. Yeah. Do you like talking about food? What other kind of foods do you like? No? You want me to rattle them off so you can nod again? Okay. Yeah? Okay. So we have leafy greens like romaine lettuce and, and green leaf lettuce. And that one's kind of scary. What about collard greens? Those are good, right? Yeah? Okay. What about, you like strawberries? Now, strawberries are a little treat. He can't have those very often, but he loves them. He gets like red all over his face, so it's like like a lion that ate a gazelle kind of thing. It's hilarious. But yeah, so I can sit and talk about this guy all day because he's super cute, and he'll actually sit here and let me talk about him, which is weird for me for the tortoise, because usually they're trying to get away or eat something, or honestly, they poop in my hand. Tortoises don't like to be off the ground for too long. They're kind of scared of heights, I guess. And as a defense mechanism, they poop, okay? But it's actually kind of bad for them because it releases a lot of their moisture and stuff they have kind of hidden as a reservoir. But yeah. Alright, so it's about to get real. Because this is very loud. No, this is don't tell Beast, one of my favorite animals. But Beast is my favorite individual. Beast is, there's no cooler than Beast. But, coolest animal, right here. So, these guys are so cool, they're considered a dinosaur. They're named and classified a saur, as in dinosaur, okay? So, what's really cool, this guy used to live with them. But, okay, not this exact one, but like its great something, grandpa, whatever. They've been around for a long time. Now what's crazy is that throughout that entire time, they're basically unchanged except for they've gotten smaller because their food's gotten smaller. That's it. Their like fossils they're finding and stuff like that, they look exactly the same to ones that we have in present day. So it's kind of cool, a little bit different. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? And these guys are definitely not broke. Now, as a lot of times he's very vocal before he comes out, so he might make a lot of weird noises for us. I'm not the most technological savvy person. I hope you guys can hear it. If not, I'm sure once I get him out, he'll be happy to tell us more stories. So we'll see what he wants to do today. Hey, bud. Come on. Hello. You gonna tell us stories or no? No? Well, that was rude. Can you come back in? You're supposed to just make noises. They're almost on temper tantrum. Mister, what is this? My gosh. Oh, what is this? Oh, jeez. Oh, we've got to work on your intro. That's so rude. You were just supposed to make noises and make it all dramatic and pop up. Not just pop up and be dramatic. There's the weird noises though. You hear him? So cute. Okay, alright, so this is your tub. Sorry, loud noises. Okay. Alright guys, so this is Jack. Oh, now you want to make your noises? Check. What am I going to do with you? Do we do this every day? How do you still not know the script? In your defense, I forgot the word script. So whatever. Alright, so Jack is an American alligator. Can you guys all say hi to Jack? Jack, say hi to everybody. Hi guys. Hi, everyone in the back. Grandma. Why is your mom hiding? Hi. Okay, so Jack is an American alligator. American alligators are one of the coolest animals out there. I mean, look at them. Listen to them. That's pretty cool. So American alligators are super cool. These guys get to be anywhere from 10 to 15 feet long. There are some that get to be a whole lot bigger. There are some that stay a whole lot smaller. I know of one that was close to 16 feet and weighed almost 1,000 pounds. He was so fat, his short little legs, he couldn't pick his belly up off the ground. It was adorable. And then there's little guys like Jack. Jack was actually dropped off on our doorstep one day because around here in Idaho, these guys are illegal to keep as pets. So chances are someone bought him off of Google thinking he'd be a really cool pet to kind of show up in front of their friends or whatever. And they're not. They're a pain. They're hungry all the time. It's like a teenager all the time. But no, and they don't want to get in trouble with him, so they probably dropped him off with us. When they did, he was very sick and very skinny, very emaciated, so much so that he actually got very stunted. Now that doesn't necessarily hurt him, and that's not, I'm not saying, yeah, go get an alligator and don't feed him, you won't get very big. No, don't do that. But out in the wild, if these guys are born into a harsh environment, they just naturally won't get very big. Alligators basically grow with how much they're fed and what they're fed. Not so much like if you keep it in a big or keep it in a small cage, it'll stay small kind of thing. No, if you feed them, they're going to grow. Okay? I know, you are just so talkative today. Until I want to... Oh, is it because I'm talking? The animals. Oh my gosh. You're almost as bad as Beast with the whole tongue flick thing. Alright. Now, a lot of the cool stuff about alligators is all right here in his head. Now, I'm going to switch him around a little bit. He might throw a little temper tantrum. There we go. Okay. So, a lot of the cool stuff about alligators is all right here in his head. The first cool thing is you can do the scratches. I know. This is like his treat for working. He gets little scratches. He can't reach this scratch. I think like his short little legs, they don't reach up there, so I gotta help him. I gotta help him out a little bit. Now, the first goal, okay, now you gotta work, okay? The first goal thing, you see when he blinks? Open your eye. See the little extra eyelid that comes over? The little vertical one or horizontal one? One more time. So, open your, right, oh, right, no, open your eye. Oh, you can see it? So the little extra eyelid that comes across, these guys have built-in water goggles. So they can go right from the land to water and see perfectly underwater. It also helps their eyes or protects their eyes from like sticks and bugs and other animals and crazy guys who poke them in the eye over and over again. Alright. Now if you guys look in his mouth, what's he missing? Open your face more. No, you gotta open it more. No. Give me the flap. Open it more. There you go. What's missing in there? Yeah, a tongue. He doesn't have a tongue. He has this weird little like flap thing. I don't know. I guess you can call that a tongue. But they use that and they just kind of push their food back at their little gullet down here and they push it down. But yeah, they don't have a tongue that sticks out. They can't go. I know. Coolest animal in the whole world, and he can't make a fart noise. This guy. Now, what's really cool though is I'm assuming these guys don't have a tongue because even at this size, they bite with about 200 to 300 pounds of pressure. When they're adults, they bite close to 1,000 pounds of pressure. Now, I think the average person, I think we bite like 50 or 60 pounds. And I know when I bite my tongue with my short, kind of blunt teeth in the back, my day's ruined. I can't do anything. So I couldn't imagine biting my tongue as hard as these guys with those sharp teeth too. That's gotta be why these guys don't have a tongue anymore. Alright, now the last cool thing we're gonna talk about is those cute little teeth. Look at those teeth. So alligators use their mouth for everything from catching their food to defending their territory to mother alligators even grab their babies out of the egg even. They'll help them hatch. And they grab them out of the egg and they carry them down to the water in this little like pouch. And they'll carry them and they release them out into the water so other animals don't hurt them. So these guys can't ever have like a toothache or call in sick or go to the dentist because no one's going to work in that mouth. But what's crazy is that they'll actually grow new teeth just about their entire life. And the average alligator goes through 4,000 teeth in a lifetime. Could you guys imagine going through 4,000 teeth? Could you imagine with a tooth fairy? Your teeth would be falling out all the time without even eating candy. They're just falling out. Isn't that crazy? So they have these cute little baby teeth. Little cute little teeth. Look at about the size of my, not even the size of my fingernail. Yeah, I know, I bite my fingernails. Don't judge me. But, so there's cute little baby teeth, and then they get bigger teeth, and this tooth is from a 10-foot alligator. So it kind of shows you guys how much bigger the head will get, because they keep 80 teeth in the mouth at any given time. They have 40 on top and 40 on the bottom. Pretty cool, right? Alright, Jack, you guys say hi to, you gonna wave goodbye to everybody? Wave goodbye. Bye. Bye, guys. Bye. Alright, you're back in your box. You're so dramatic today. Like, you have to do a backflip in like a half meter to get in the box. It's a big box. You have plenty of room. Alright. So, we have one more animal. This is it. This is the grand finale. This is gonna hurt my back. Not gonna lie to you. So, I will be right back. I'm just gonna do a quick little pause. I'll be right back. Okay, so sorry about that. Actually, it was like a blink for you guys. My bad. I told you I'm not technological. All right, so I'm actually really excited about this because I was on my way over to go get the big snake, and I realized I'm the only one who's gonna hold it. Like, I keep forgetting that you guys aren't really like here. Like, we're here, but we're not like here, our animal. So this is, like, I love talking about this animal because she's one of my favorite snakes we have. But I never get to bring her out because she's so strong. And I can't pass her off because she will legitimately want to hurt somebody. But if it's just me, it's fine. I mean, there's people, they'll help me, it's fine. So, where's your face? I just gotta get her, hold on one second. Where's your, this thing? Come here, oh. Okay, so I need you to be you. So do your thing. So this is Wanda. Say hi. There's Wanda. So Wanda is a obnoxious snake. Wanda is a reticulated python. So reticulated pythons are super cool. They are actually the longest snake in the world. So I'm gonna see if I can get her up kind of in screen for us here. Hi, babe. There we go. Scary. Just kidding. So now, these guys are actually the longest snake in the world. Now, there are some in captivity have reached close to 30 feet long. People will tell you they've seen some 35, 40 feet long, 500 pounds, whatever. The longest one who's actually been like scientifically recorded was, I believe it was like 28 feet long or something like that, and it was like 210 pounds or something like that. Some crazy, insane number, which is still really big. Now, what's crazy about reticulated pythons is that these guys are like the superhero of snakes. So, even though they get to be super long, they still climb trees like it's nothing. They climb trees. There we go. No. Oh, yeah? So, they climb trees so fast, these guys have been seen chasing monkeys in trees. Oh, that's my face. They've been seen chasing monkeys in trees. These guys swim so fast, they swim faster than Michael Phelps. If you guys don't know who that is, he swims really fast. But they swim about 20 miles an hour. The term reticulated actually means net-like, and you can see kind of net-like pattern. Now they got that because the first ones were found in fishermen's nets. Now, and the pattern actually looked so much like their nets that that's just what they call them. Alright, now hopefully we're going to see at least some of her body today. I'll probably get up in a second and show you guys more of her. Now, we talked about Caw a little bit ago. Caw, the whole staring contest, trust in me, I think. So Caw was actually designed after reticulated pythons. Now, what's really cool is that the one in the cartoon, it's not much different than real life. They get to be super long, they climb trees like it's nothing. No, they don't talk, but they eat people. So they'll actually eat large meals, anything from a mouse all the way up to a small deer. Now, if these guys were to eat something as big as a small deer, that meal will last them almost an entire year. So could you imagine, that would be like if you eat, let's say like the Thanksgiving dinner all by yourself, you would have to eat again till like the end of summer. See, it's not so bad being a snake. Granted, yeah, when she eats something as big as a small deer, that meal, it takes her almost 10 hours to fully consume. And then they sleep for like a month after it, and then they're totally fine for months on end. Until they find the next prey, and then what's crazy is that, so snakes aren't out like looking for food all the time. They're not just out to go eat stuff and show off. They're not like that weird like hot dog eating guy who eats for attention and fun. No, these guys will actually rarely even eat. That's around my neck. Yeah, we talked about how strong you are. Now again, these guys are insanely strong though. The last time I took Wanda out to an event, she actually almost broke my phone. So yeah, so it kind of gives you guys an idea how strong she really is. It was in my pocket. She just wrapped around my leg and she almost snapped it in half. But yeah, so that's her. That's Wanda. She's getting a little antsy now. There you go. Look at the big old tongue. That's my big girl. Alright, so I'll see if I can get up and I'll show you guys how big she is. Okay. Because right now she is close to about she's just under 19 feet right now. Come here, babe. Let's get you up here so people can see you. So let's get your tail. Dramatics. So get your tail up here, kind of like this. There's this, and there's that, and then here comes the tail. Here it comes. So what's cool? Oh yeah, that's so cool. So they'll actually wrap around, just like that, like in a tree. They'll wrap around this, and they'll shoot their body straight up, and then they'll wrap another coil, and they'll go straight up and wrap another coil. Unless they're like chasing food, then they'll just go through branches like it's on the ground. But pretty cool, right? So Wanda is kind of ending our show for us with a big old hug, because we are extremely grateful for you guys having us out, whether it's through a screen or whether it's in person. We love hanging out with you guys. We hope you guys enjoyed the show. Again, if you guys have any questions, concerns, questions, concerns, whatever, let us know. If you guys have questions about animals, let us know. Anything, let us know. We're happy to help with any kind of animals out there, especially reptiles, but if it's a question about something else, we know a lot of other rescue groups in town, so we'd love to help anybody who is interested in animals. Again, the Idaho Reptile Zoo is opening a new exhibit and a new facility, so we hope to see you guys all soon. If you haven't already, please follow our Facebook page, Idaho Reptile Zoo. Follow our Instagram, Reptile Adventures, all that fun stuff. I think we're even on TikTok now. We're everywhere. So hang out with us. And we hope to see you guys later. Hope you're having a great day, staying safe. And remember, always try and have fun. Alright, bye guys. No, you gotta get in the, no, get back in the box. Can't, need, okay. Okay. There you go, man. That's my hand, thanks. No, that's my hand too. Oh, my leg, whatever. Either way, it's mine, not yours.